Hi guys, my name is Ram. I'm from Great Learning, and today, guys, we'll be learning about UX design portfolios. All right, so guys, I have a lot of exciting things to tell you guys in this session. So before we do that, I want to do a quick confirmation from you. Do a quick check with you guys if you guys can hear me, see me, and basically see my face also or not. And if you guys can see all those three things, I'm going to go ahead and push ahead and, start the session properly. Okay. So while you guys are giving me that, I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat in the side. All right. So the chat's opening up. All right. Okay. So until you guys give me that confirmation, I'm just going to give you guys a quick breakdown into what Great Learning Academy is. Now, I know a lot of you who are regulars already know about this, but I'm still going to go ahead and explain it for those people who are new to this and want to know more. So Great Learning Academy is a really nice place. If you guys want a certificate, but for free, you can go ahead and visit greatlearning.in/academy. All right. So Great Learning Academy gives you a lot of different courses in which you can choose. It is basically something we started so that, we could help out a lot of people who've lost their jobs or are not able to find their jobs in the past 1 year, right? There's a lot of different domains that you guys can go ahead and check out. And I would dearly recommend checking them out. So, all right. So once you reach greatlearning.academy, just go ahead and select a career path, and you get a lot of different ways in which you can see these things, right? So if you want to be a data scientist, you want to be an AI engineer, or you want to go ahead and check out your own thing, maybe you want to check out artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing, or marketing and finance, right? So whatever is your thing, just check it out. Or if you don't know what your thing is, check out a lot of these different things. These courses aren't really big courses. These are courses that will really help you strengthen your fundamentals, so you can dip your toes and check out what you really like. All right, so that's about Great Learning Academy. You can go ahead and download the app if you want, or visit the website, whatever you're privy or use you're comfortable with. All right, so with that out of the way, I want to see what the attendance is for today. We have 27 people so far. That's really awesome, but we have only 12 likes. No, come on guys. Okay, fine. Here's what, I'll let you be the judge and give me the likes. All right, so let's see who all are here. So we have Samantha. Hi, Samantha. We have Mehak. We have Vikash. All right. We have Adarsh. We have Narashima. We have Nanika. Hi, Nanika. Good to see you again. All right. So we have a lot of people, and I'm pretty excited to tell you guys about how to design your own portfolio. Now, I want a few things from you. This is going to be a very interactive session. So I want you guys to tell me if you guys know about UX, if you've worked in UX in past. Leave that comment in the chat. Let me know about your story, what your story has been so far, and why do you want to learn UX, because it really gives me a good idea and I really can build upon that, right? So I can help you out with that. And this session is basically for that, helping you guys create your own design portfolio, right? So what is a design portfolio and what we doing over here? So basically, guys, you're going to be learning about UX, user experience. So that is a big, underdog field that you guys might not know if you don't know anything about UX, but it is a pretty cool field. And to get a job in this field, you definitely had to create a portfolio. All right, don't worry about the nitty-gritty details. I'll get into it. First, let me give you guys an idea of what we'll be covering in this session. So first, I'll go through the question of why do we need a UX portfolio? What are they looking for? When I say they, I mean the employers or the people who are your potential, basically potential employers, or people who might want to hire you for freelance projects, or, etc. And how can you create one? So I'll teach you guys, how you can go ahead and create your own design portfolio. Also, I'll really help you out on that journey too. And then finally, as a big plus, I'll just tell you guys how you can go ahead and get a UX job also, because a lot of people, want to know how to get a job also. But if you want a specific job related, session, I have done that in the past. You can go ahead and check it out on our Great Learning channel. We can do a Q&A in the end if we have enough time, or if not, I'll just read through your comments and, I'll answer on the go, and then we'll just end the session. Right, but I do have a present for you guys. It's a very cute, showcase. If you guys wait till the end of the session, you guys will get to see it. Okay, I promise it's worth waiting for. All right, so Before, I actually delve into this, let me just pick up my phone and see what you guys have to say in the chat. All right. So Mario's like, I feel ignored. I must have missed your name. All right. So we have a lot of people. We have ex-developer. We have Keto Gaming. Hello, Keto Gaming. And we have others saying, no, I don't know what UX is. And Nanika saying, hey, Ram, thrilled for this session, though I'm new to the domain. Well, that's all right. UX is pretty cool. Now, to be honest, guys, I'm not going to go into details about what UX is and, what the process behind is, because this is not a very long session. And I wanted to dedicate it to those people who wanted to get a job in the UX domain, right? And for that purpose, they need to build a portfolio for themselves. So this is going to be a very specific live session, but if you really want to check out one of those explainer live sessions, I've done those in the past and they're available as videos that you guys can check out. If not, just stick here, enjoy the session, chat with me. This is all about, chatting and just have fun, right? So let's talk about this. Why do we need a portfolio for UX? So specifically, I'm going to define what UX is. UX is basically user experience. Whatever product you ever use, there's some thought spent behind that product in making sure that it is very comfortable for you to use. If you're using YouTube, if you're using a food delivery app like Grubhub or, like Swiggy or Zomato, or some e-commerce like Amazon, Flipkart, they make those products very specifically. They know that the customers want a good, unique experience, and these guys do provide it. They have dedicated people who think about this, and they are called UX designers, right? And your question is, how do you become a UX designer? Well, to become a UX designer, there are a few steps you need to follow. And one of the important steps or parts of it is making a portfolio for yourself. Now, this is generally for freshers, but this can be for people who want to, change their domains. When I say freshers, I mean people who just out of college. And, if you're from a different background, not from a design background, and you want to change to UX, that's also fine, right? So I'm going to explain for them, but for experienced people, just a revision because you guys already know what the deal is. So why do we need a portfolio for UX? Generally, when you talk about finding a job, you're talking about writing and creating a resume and sending it out to everyone, right? So why do we create a portfolio over here? Well, that's the thing, man. In the design world, it's a lot different. It's not the resume you just send out and people look at the work in written form and understand it. It's not that easy because you're designing stuff. You need to showcase that kind of stuff. Obviously, you can showcase in other fields also, but it matters a lot more in design field where you want to showcase what you've done with screenshot, with visual aids and simple explainers. That's how we create portfolios. So portfolios are basically showcases of what kind of projects you've done. So let's say that you worked for a company or you've done some personal projects, and those personal projects involved you working alone or working with some other people in volunteer projects and designing something really cool. All that research process that goes behind into the UX process of doing surveys, of understanding the customer and all of that, those details are also included in a portfolio. Now, this is specific for a UX portfolio because UX portfolio is not strictly about, creating beautiful designs. It's about the process that goes into making an excellent product that is very, intuitive to use for the customers. So why do we need a portfolio? Well, the thing is that, we need a portfolio because your potential employers or, people who are looking to hire you as a freelancer, they want to know what you do and how do you do it. Because the whole thinking of it is like when people actually look for UX designers, they want to know how the thinking process is. That is an important part. To understand that, they need to look at a portfolio to understand that, right? So basically, they need to look at what you do and how you do it to make sure whether you are compatible with their own, working. So if they look at your work and they see that the design philosophies that you're implementing are very compatible with the design philosophies that particular marketing agency or, that particular website building agency uses, then they want you, right? And that's why they want to look at this. That's why they want to look at portfolios. And it's a lot more easier to look at photos than it is to read, words. Now, resumes are less important than portfolios for UX designers, but you might have resumes also, but portfolios matter a lot more. They're basically the resumes for UX designers, right? So that covers why do we need portfolios. In short, because the employers want to know what our design thinking philosophies are, and they want to know how do we do all of it, right? And they want to do it in a very fast manner because they have to go through thousands of applicants, and the most attractive ones are the ones they go for. Attractive in the sense of, how they worked on a project, right? Okay, so what are these people looking for? What are they looking for? What are the employers looking for? So there are a lot of different things that they're looking for over here. So a potential employer, when he's, actually looking for a UX designer, when they're interviewing them or when they are checking out their portfolio, they're going to look for a few basic things. Like the first thing they'll actually think about is, or they'll ask this question. I'm going to frame these in parts of, like, in ways of questions so that you guys get a better understanding. Even in interviews, they might ask this: how did you create value for a customer, user, or organization? So that is one of the most important things that anyone will ask you. They'll look at your projects and they'll be like, okay, that's really nice, but tell me, what kind of impact did you make on them? What kind of impact did this project have? How did you create value for them? So you have to do, sorry for the disturbance, guys. So you have a lot of, you have to justify what you've been doing, because if you worked very hard but you created very little impact, then it's not beneficial for the new employer, right? So you have to tell people what kind of value did you create. If you're a fresher, then what kind of volunteering project did you do that helped the community, right? And if not this, then how did it help you learn things? Because you're a fresher, so obviously they don't have a lot of expectations, right? And that you worked or you've done volunteer projects. So the next thing they'll check with you is basically, what did you learn out of your projects? What is the main takeaway for you? Not everything, but a small glimpse of it, because portfolio can't be very long also. They have to be kind of comprehensive and tight. So you have to show the messy part and the thinking parts that you did, like maybe some scribbles, some ideas that you jotted down. So those kind of things you have to include, right? And you have to tell them what kind of problems you solve. So once you put up a hypothesis, let's say you're doing a personal project that is your own thing, like maybe redesigning the Apple website. So you have to put up a question, and that question can be, what Apple is doing very great, but they're not able to hit a niche market. So how can they improve their website to hit that niche market also? So that's the problem statement that you've created, and we call that a hypothesis, right? And now you want to solve that and speculate over it. What kind of solution can be there to resolve this problem, right? So you try to solve it. You create a problem by yourself and you try to solve it as a fresher, right? Or if you actually worked on a project, then you tell them how you solve real life projects, right? Real life problems. How did you solve them? What was the hypothesis behind the problem, and how did you really solve it? Okay. So these are a few questions that you have to keep in mind when you're designing your portfolio, right? You have to empathize. Really, you really have to think with the employer's mindset. And there are some do's and don'ts that I'll tell you guys. Don't forget about them. So basically, try to always think from the shoes of people hiring, maybe other UX designers or the hiring manager. You have to step into their minds and actually think what they want and try to market yourself in that way. Because seriously, if you're getting into the field of UX, you really need to have passion. You can't just get into it for money. I mean, if you're really good, maybe then, but if you're not, really good, they need to have like some kind of passion for it, right? You need to like this field to get into it. So never ever lie in your portfolios, okay? Don't simply forge stuff also. And try to understand what the employer wants and try to understand what you want. And if those two things match, so let's say that you are really into UX research work. Yes, there are specific people who do just UX research. So you try to emphasize on those research works. How did you do it? You go into the detail. I mean, not for everything, but for, point to point, and you try to emphasize those things. And if the employer is looking for a UX researcher, or if they are a company that, gives more importance to that, then they'll hire you, or they'll at least think of hiring you, right? So you have to think about what they're looking for and what you have to offer them. Okay. So I hope that was clear. Now let's get into how can you create your own UX portfolio. So there are a few steps. Let me list those steps down. So first, you need to organize all your projects. So if you've not done any projects in the past, I would highly recommend doing a lot of projects. At least do 4 projects, right? So if you're a fresher and you're completely new to this, guys, do at least 4 projects, okay? And if that feels like a daunting task to do 4 projects, do 2 projects, right? You start off with 2 projects, do 2 projects or even 1 project, and really get into the feel of it. And once you've done that, make sure always to document whatever you're doing. Documentation is also a very important part, because that will help you tell other people what you've done and, showcase what you've done, right? So once you have 1 project, then you can go on to have a second, and then maybe 4. So once you have 4, you can actually go ahead and create your design portfolio, right? Now, I'm giving this to you guys in hard mode, not the easy mode, because it's a tougher world out there, right? So I want you guys to be really prepared for this. So that's why I'm saying 4 projects. So once you have your 4 projects, decide out of these 4 projects, which one you actually really liked and what, made you feel like you learned a lot. So emphasize on those projects and try to talk about a lot more on those 2 projects rather than all the 4. But you have to include all the 4, right? So once you organize all your projects, once you've chosen the best ones that you really like, create a storyline for yourself, right? So you have to tell a story. Even with your portfolio, you're telling a story. So once you start creating your portfolio, the first thing you should be mentioning is, who are you? So you start off by saying, hi, my name is Ram. I work as a UX designer for this and this company. Or if you're not working for a company, just say I'm working as a UX designer, or let's just say I am a hobbyist UX designer, or whatever you're doing, right? Just say, you have to be very clear on who you are. Remember, do not put technical jargon into it. You have to be very clear about what you are, and you have to be very less confusing for the employer, right? So once you tell them who you are, you tell them about your past. Maybe if you want to include that, if you were in a different background, let's say you were in a technical background, emphasize on them. Talk about those specific things. Like maybe you like the user testing part of it. Why was that user testing part interesting for you, right? So you talk about it, and you emphasize on your skills. So you talk about what you did well. If you did the UX research work well, where you were able to gather a lot of information from the competitors, from the target demographic, and all of those things, and you really like it, then you emphasize on those things, because in the end, it's going to be about you really wanting to do things you like. So you emphasize on the things that you like, and then you find another person who's willing to hire you because they also like the skills that you have. So that is very important, right? So this is in short where you have, so this is in short how you create your own portfolio. So once you have all of these 4 things in your mind, you can start creating a portfolio. So how do you create a portfolio? Let me get into that. So you have a lot of different types of portfolio. You have your slide deck, PPT, PDF portfolio, where you're basically creating like PDF files of your portfolios. And this is one of the types. Another type is your website type portfolio, which is the most popular ones that you guys might have heard about. And the other ones is your notes and virtual note copies of notes. So basically it's your physical thing. From sources what kind of design philosophies they like. You can tailor these particular PDF portfolios so that they know that, they're going to get what they want, right? And website portfolios aren't that easy to tailor for specific companies or specific job roles. So you have one, well thought out website, static website where you have all the things, right? Okay. So these are the 3 major type of portfolios, right? I'll be telling you guys about the website one first. Okay. So to create a website, right, you have a lot of different options. Now you don't need coding background for this, but if you have that, then it's great. And I'm only going to be listing free options so that it's, easy for you guys. Okay. So the main free options over here are basically Behance, Portfolio Adobe, Dribble, GitHub Pages. These are the ones that I know. So these are basically free. You don't have to pay anything for it. Now Wix is another one that you guys might have heard about in YouTube ads and everything. And also, we're not sponsored by Wix or any of these companies. It's just, these are the ones I personally know. And Wix is, I think there's a particular paid element to it, but it offers a few free things also. I've not used it, but I've heard a lot about it, and that's why I wanted to include it over here. Now, Behance and Adobe Portfolio and Ripple, they're free. Even GitHub Pages are free, right? And they're very unique in what they do. Okay, so I'll just take you guys through some of these websites, and then we'll check out a few portfolios also, right? Okay, so this is Behance over here. You guys can see there are a lot of other people also putting up their portfolios that you guys can go ahead and check them out. So we have someone with multiple owners. I think this is not a portfolio. This is a specific website. Yeah, so they wanted to showcase that. We have another website showcase over here, and this has basically become a social platform, right? But you can go ahead and create your portfolio over here also. This company is owned by Adobe. Adobe has its own thing also. It's called Adobe Portfolio. This is, again, it's completely free. You don't have to pay a bit for this, especially in the start. You don't have to pay anything, and they have a lot of good designs that you guys can go ahead and choose from. Okay. Another option is Dribble. You can go ahead and sign up for Dribble and try their free version out. And Wix also offers a lot. I really like the Wix starting website. The leader in website creation, if you scroll down, stunning templates, drag and drop, mobile friendly, custom domains. All right. Okay, so I just wanted to really show this. It looks kind of cool. Now, I've gone through a lot of stuff, theory. Now, let's see if I have any questions to answer before I just tell you guys about the thing. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Wix is a paid service. So Mario Blizzard is saying brainstorming session. Yeah. So this is, I mean, yeah, your whatever ideas you gather up, right, and you want to show them, those are your brainstorming ideas. Okay, guys, we are kind of close to the end of our session. Now, this isn't one of our 1 hour sessions. This is going to be one of our shorter sessions that we are trying to experiment with. If you guys like these ones better, or if you like the 1 hour ones better, please let us know. We're always looking to improve. But right now, guys, what I want you to do is go ahead and put in down any questions you guys have, because while you guys are giving the questions, I can give you the tips on do's and don'ts and all those things. Okay. And yeah, don't forget, I have something really cute to show you guys. So please stay till the end. Okay. I'm telling you, it's going to be totally worth it. All right, cool. So I had a few do's and don'ts with me listed over here. So there are a lot of do's and don'ts when you're making our design portfolio. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a do. It's basically making sure that you include only things you are interested in, because that is very important. Yeah. Like you want to show people that you really like this. And if it's, if it's fade, then you'll find someone that is willing to hire you for that specific things. So always emphasize on those specific things you really liked and you really learned from a lot. Then I'll talk about a don't. So don't make your portfolio too flashy. Don't add like too many heavy animations, because see, these people who are gonna hire you, they don't have a lot of time. They have to go through a lot of different applications. I mean, applications. So if your website is not loading, then they're definitely gonna skip you. So that is not a necessary thing. Yes, UX has some user interface, and appealing visuals really do help attract people. That's a common thing. But make sure you have a perfect balance of it. Keep things simple. That comes again as a do. Make sure everything is clear and to the point. No need to add any technical jargon. No need to pad around the bush, no need to pad around and no need to beat around the bush. Just, if you have only one point to say, just say only that one point. Okay. No one's gonna, check what your word count is going to be. Okay. So that is another do, to make sure everything is clear and cut. And another don't is don't include too much text, right? No one has enough time to read through everything you have, right? Because even if you have a lot of things to say, make sure you can put them in 1 point or maybe 2 points, right? Don't say too much if that's not necessary, because then no one has the employees won't have a lot of time to read through them. Okay, let's talk about another do, and then we'll do one more don't. There's another do is create specific portfolios for specific companies. It can help. I talked about that already, so let me skip that. If you have a different background than design, then try to include elements that do help you. So let's say that you've been a person who's been teaching, then you can obviously use things from that. If you want, from going from teaching to UX designing, you can say that, you know, you have a lot of learned about a lot of empathy and how to psychology, maybe child psychology or adult psychology. You've deep into it, understood it, and you do apply those when you're doing your projects. And that is kind of true. You're not lying over here. You do use them. And what I'm trying to say over here is try to talk about skills that you've done in the past that may not be related completely exactly to designing, but have parts common to it, because that also helps defining your storyline. Okay. And then we have a don't lie, right? So I'll always say this for any resume, for any portfolio, never lie, right? That's not going to help you out. They say that fake it till you make it. It's kind of a risky thing, and personally I'm totally against that. Don't fake it till you make it till you make it. Okay, I hope that wasn't too cheesy. All right, so while you guys are giving me questions, please make sure that you're asking questions in the chat, because I really want to see what you guys have to say, or if you guys have any questions understanding anything. Right, so I wanted to show you this one, Instagram redesign page. I really liked it. It's by Ling Huang. You guys should give it a read. Just type in Instagram redesign on Google. This is the first link you're gonna get. So this guy goes into, this person goes into a lot of detail about talking about how they did everything, the background of, you know, how they chose the project, what was their thought process behind it, like the what, why, and how, and the user research, exploring both audience and accounts that use Instagram. So different kind of people, he created different user case stories, competitive research. So my point of, you know, the solutions that he came up with for the problems he thought there were, what kind of user testing he did, right? So, and higher fidelity prototypes that he created, or this person created. So a lot of different things. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not, you know, okay. Yeah, this person, I would like to say this person. I wouldn't mention their gender. I don't know what there's, you know. Yeah. So basically I wanted to show you guys this because they put this in a very good way. I want you guys to have a good read through it. This is not a portfolio. This is just their design thinking and, you know, thinking process behind it. They do this in a very concise manner. Okay. So go ahead and check it out. And there are a few, you know, portfolios also. As you guys can see, this is one of the portfolios, Gloria Ello. Hi, I'm Gloria Ello. I design, sing, paint, write. They're very clear about what they do. They talk about that they're a product designer. You'll see this happening a lot. People straight away tell what their job is, right? With experience in delivering end to end and all. And then they talk about their recent work. So they've worked for these particular, and see they're emphasizing over here the specific kind of work they've done, like a rocket platform, Leaf, Sea Ladder, right? And once you click on them, you can go into detail. So if you want to have an interactive website like that, you can go ahead and do that also. And here they explain a lot more. Cool. So you guys can see the process of it. They're explaining the user flow diagrams that they've created, the UX process that they utilized over here. This is their user experience development process. And you see their thinking process, the brainstorming thing that Mario was talking about, that's also over here. And if you go down, they talk about the Excel sheets. You'll see a lot of Excel sheets, and you guys will be using a lot of Excel sheets. So this is for the purpose of they're doing the data-driven approach. So they have collected a lot of data. So I'm assuming, yeah. Okay, so prioritization of issues, what kind of issues they had, what kind of resolving they did. So you guys can see UX is not just about creating a fancy website. It has a lot of actual process that goes behind it. Then we have another one, the Jonathan Patterson one. This is a bit unique. You can see it's a bit colorful over here. So what are the first thing you see? Welcome to Portfolio, Jonathan Patterson, Detroit product designer. And you can see a lot of different things. Their portfolio exactly, you know, they're talking about just hanging out. And in portfolio, I think this is an interactive one. Vision, it's kind of my thing. Not really impressed with this particular portfolio, but I just wanted to show you what the different things are there out there. This is Austin Knight. I lead and design products that people love, from humble startups. So you guys can see this particular portfolio, what work I've been up to. They're also talking about the work, my first design job. So you guys can see the storyline that they've created of what they did, evolving the browser, multiplying conversion rates. So they work for HubSpot and Petbrugia. They work for Google also. All right, cool. So this was Austin Knight. We have a few more to show you guys. This is Moritz. He's a UX designer with 6 years of experience. You can see again the case study of the projects that they've done. And if you want to contact them, so this person has designed it well. They are going straight to the point. They're giving a bit about themselves, that they're a tutor at this particular company, and if you want to connect with them, they've mentioned it in bold. That's good. I like that. I like simplicity if it serves the purpose well, if it emphasizes something. So you can see this is Jason Design. Again, this is a bit laggy, too many animations. Could be my system also, but imagine if the employer doesn't have a great system, it won't load, right? So these are the kind of designs I really recommend not going for, right? Unless you can, do some magic React, React magic or something, then maybe. This is Elizabeth Lynn. I like hers also. It's a bit flashy, but it's really nice. She has different things she's talking about, design and the teaching, illustrations, experiments. So you can see how everyone goes into the nitty-gritty details about what the thinking process is, right? So these are her projects. And this is Priyanka Gupta. She's a product designer, and she's listed the ways to contact her. And below she talks about the different projects she's worked on. This is for the Indian SAPs over here, Indian people. She's worked for LastPass also. That's pretty cool. All right. So my browser is hanging a little bit. I think it's because of all these Amy. So Amy is over here talking about how she's Amy. So that's in bold. That's really nice. I'm currently a product designer at Microsoft. She's a product designer at Microsoft. She talks about, the projects she's done, Outlook Mobile. She's worked for MileIQ. She's worked in the city, bike onboarding. All right. So guys, these are the different portfolios. I hope that you guys understood. Okay. So I don't think we have a time to get into how to get a UX job today. Totally forgot about that. Anyways, so I hope you guys like all the different portfolios I showcased you. And I hope you guys got the idea of how to start these. Okay. Again, please make sure to check out, Adobe Portfolio if you want to start it, or Behance. And I'm not, sponsored by any of these. And GitHub Pages is for those people who know how to use GitHub. And, if you want to use GitHub Pages, that's also there. To get a UX job, there are 3 things, guys: education, portfolio, and experience. Some of you may not have experience, but I'm teaching you how to get portfolio. And education, you can get a degree or something. All right, cool. So Q&A. Let's see what questions you guys have, and then we'll end the session. All right, so Adarsh is, so for UX, what should we learn? Okay, so for UX, there are a lot of different things. What I would recommend for you to do is right now, I cannot give you the detail of learning about UX. What is that? You can go ahead and check out my earlier videos where I do give you an intro to UX and UI. There's a lot of different things. There's user testing, there's user research, there is wireframing, there's prototyping. There's a lot of different things. I would recommend checking out those sessions that I've done where I go into detail about what UX and UI are. Okay. Or just Google it. Nanika is talking about, is paid platform? No, I would recommend getting the free platforms, guys. Don't go for the paid platforms unless you have a job and you really want, to have paid platform, because you have a lot of different free options. Please explore those first. What rules should be followed while making documentation related to a project? All right. Documentation, what are the few rules? Okay. Make sure that everything is to the point and you're mentioning what you've done for that particular day, and what you've observed and what was your sorry. So basically, for everyday documentation of a particular project, you mention all the things that you did for that particular day, but be precise of what you've done. No need to pad around, even if it's small, it's okay. And when you want to document specific user test case theories, right, then you have all these Excel sheets where you've performed either, surveys or tests. You link those to your documentation and you talk about what was the result of it, right? So those kind of things. In specific rules, just want to mention a few hygiene points. Just make sure indentation is fine. That's what I follow. And no need to add on. Yeah, so that's all. Aki is asking, sir, what does fall under criteria of portfolio? Does business cards and banners count? No, portfolio is a showcase of all of your projects. So I won't say business cards and banners count because they're just talking about, they're just marketing you, right? So they won't be considered portfolio. Good question though. So 1 hour session will be great, but today's session was awesome. All right, I hope I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and end the session, but I have something to show you guys. This one's been sleeping on my lap, but I hope this is, cute for you. His name is Louis. He wants to say hi. And this is the, cute thing I wanted to show you guys. He's not a UX designer. I can say that because, he's not even potty trained right now. So he's not a UX designer yet, but, maybe in future. So Louis says hi. Hi, Louis. No, okay. Cool. Ciao. You can go back to sleep. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the session. And I hope you guys got something out of it. My name is Ram. Check out Great Learning Academy, and I'll see you guys